2026 Mayoral Forum. I am Betsy LaVoy with the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce. If you were with us last night for the Town Council Forum, thank you for attending and thank you for returning. If this is your first evening and you want to see what you missed last night, we did live stream it, so you can go to the YouTube channel for Fountain Hills Chamber and you can check out the live stream. The live stream is not great audio, just to share with you. It is literally just a backup that we have. We have professional videography that is occurring that will be released within about 2 weeks after editing. So to have an instant video, we do have the live stream. We also have a live stream tonight, but just know that it's not great audio. So I just wanted to share that with you so that you don't share with me that it's not great audio, because I'm sorry, we do know. I'd like to welcome to the podium our immediate past chair, Michael Gant, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome, thank you. If you were in attendance last night at the council forum, you heard from Madeline Phipps from SRP. We'd again like to thank Salt River Project for their continued support of this program. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you, Michael. We love Michael. Everyone in here loves Michael. So thank you for doing this. We're delighted to provide this opportunity for residents to get to know your candidates in a positive and informative candidate forum. As our mission states, the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce exists to provide effective education, networking, advocacy, and marketing to support the prosperity of local commerce and nonprofit organizations in our community. We extend our sincere gratitude to our valued partners, particularly at Salt River Project. Partnerships like these enable us to do programming like this. We also appreciate the collaboration with the Public Policy Committee of the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce and the Civic Affairs Committee from the Fountain Hills Cultural and Civic Association. As you all know, I love Fountain Hills. And the town of Fountain Hills for tonight's forum. Additionally, a big thank you to Pete Gallagher from Toastmasters for running the timing portion of tonight's event. I'd like to now introduce Jeff Yazetta to speak. Jeff is currently serving on the FHCCA board as the chairperson for Civic Affairs Committee, as well as the chairperson for the Public Policy Committee for the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Jeff, to the stage.
Thank you, Betsy. We're back. Thank you so much for being here. It is my pleasure to be here on behalf of the Civic Affairs Program for I Love Fountain Hills. If you were here last night, this will be a reminder, but if you're here for the first time, I just want to give you a primer on what the FHCCA/I Love Fountain Hills is all about. We're here to develop, promote, and operate programs and activities that will preserve and enhance the cultural, civic, educational, and social qualities of Fountain Hills. Right now, the FHCCA currently has over 15 member programs under its umbrella, one of which is Fountain Hills. The origin of Civic Affairs dates back to 2010, and its mission continues to be to promote civic involvement of residents in the town of Fountain Hills, particularly in the promotion of voter participation in local elections. Over the years, Civic Affairs has co-hosted candidate forums not only for town council elections, but also for the Fountain Hills Unified School District Board elections and Fountain Hills Sanitary District Board elections. Special forums were held in 2013, 2017, and 2023 for bond elections. And before we move on, I do want to express my gratitude to the FHCCA for putting together such a wonderful organization and making such a positive impact in our community. And I also want to give a shout out to Betsy LaVoy, the Fountain Hills Chamber staff, and the Public Policy Committee for putting in so many hours to crafting and refining the questions that we will ask tonight, and for taking the time to plan and deliver this great event. So thank you so much for your continued partnership. The purpose of tonight's event, as everyone is aware, is to learn more about the two candidates that are seeking election to serve as mayor of Fountain Hills. The format is the same as last night, and it will be as follows. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to make their opening statement. A series of 8 questions will be asked tonight. We decided to add an 8th question, or an additional question, because there's a relevant topic that came up this week, and we thought it would be great for everyone to hear what these 2 candidates have to say about it. The questions will have a 90-second response time per candidate. The timekeeper will provide visual cues at set intervals that will indicate when 30 seconds remain, 10 seconds remain, and when time has expired. At the conclusion of the questions, each candidate will have 2 minutes to make their closing statements. The order in which the candidates will give opening and closing statements and answer the questions, since there's only 2 candidates, it will alternate back and forth. Now, before we begin the forum, I want to remind everyone that the purpose of tonight's event is to hear what the candidates have to say and listen to them as it relates to leadership and how they would address any number of topics that are specific to town business. There will be no personal attacks, there will be no disruptive behavior. If that continues, we may have to clear the room, so please just be mindful of our neighbors and be respectful of the candidates while they are speaking. With that, I'm going to switch seats and we will get started with the opening remarks. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
While Jeff takes his seat, I do want to submit a public apology in the program. Our Mayor Friedell's name was misspelled in the header, and I did ask him if he wanted me to reprint when it was recognized today. I can share with you that our staff approved it literally 500 times. I don't know how it was missed. And so I sincerely apologize, and I just wanted to publicly state that.
Yours happens to be.
Okay, opening statements. Again, candidates will have 2 minutes for opening statements, and keep an eye out for the lights and the cards. Again, green is 30 seconds remaining, yellow is 10 seconds remaining, red is time has expired. If you see the red card or light, just wrap up what you're saying, please. We're not going to cut the mic, but just wind down your thought, and we'll move on. Thank you so much. First up this evening for the opening statement is Councilmember Brenda Calavianakis.
Thank you, Jeff. Good evening, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight. I'd like to open by thanking the Chamber of Commerce, the FHCCA, and SRP for sponsoring and putting on this event. This is a wonderful opportunity for the mayor and I to get a chance to talk to, make a case to this community, why we should be mayor. I'm Brenda Calavianakis, as you all probably know. I'm on your town council. I'm a former prosecutor, business owner, and I'm a current United States Coast Guard auxiliarist. I'm running for mayor because Fountain Hills deserves leadership that is accountable, seeks residents' input, and is focused on delivering results. Speaking of results, my campaign is going to be realistic with the voters about where we are as a council. Too often, decisions in our town council feel like they're rushed, uneven, and disconnected from the people that they impact. Residents show up, speak out if they're allowed to, and feel like their voices aren't being considered. This abridgment of our process has made us less responsive to voter concerns and subject our community to political activism and not governance. Fountain Hills is a special place. People move here because it's safe, because it's beautiful, and because it feels like a throwback to an older time. My approach, if mayor, is simple. Growth that enriches without overdevelopment, strong public safety, and a government that answers to residents first, not insiders or special interests. We have real opportunities ahead from responsible use of the state trust land, strengthen our infrastructure, strengthen our services. But it takes leadership that gets it right the first time, with the community fully involved and not cleaning up mistakes after the fact. I'm not running to manage the decline of this town or to maintain the status quo. I'm running to lead with integrity, with experience, and with a commitment to all the people that live in Fountain Hills. Thank you.
Next, Mayor Jerry Friedell.
Thank you. I would like to thank you all for your time this evening, including the residents, FHCCA, Chamber, and staff. Hello, I'm Jerry Friedell, Mayor of the Town of Fountain Hills. It's difficult to sum up the past year and a half in a few minutes. I am humbled to be serving as Mayor of Fountain Hills, and I want to continue the excellent progress we are making. And we'll do that by continuing to invest in projects that ensure our town remains a safe, vibrant, and welcoming place to call home. I'm proud to report that Fountain Hills is making fiscally smart yet forward-looking improvements to our infrastructure while continuing to provide high-quality amenities and experiences our residents deserve. My goal is to make sure we're not just great now, but in great position for decades to come. I purposely chose interactions with residents and the business community. I don't need paid consultants, as the residents are my consultants. The best ideas usually come from them. I personally support our community by listening to and supporting clubs, service organizations, and the many events held throughout our community because we are a part of it too. Our business community is the backbone of our town, providing a great percentage of our general fund revenue. They support us and we support them. They help run our town, maintain our infrastructure, and are a major accomplishment of my administration. My wife and I have had over 1,000 interactions with our business community alone. We shop and dine locally. I hold a monthly coffee with the mayor so I can spend time with the community and in person answering questions and concerns. I value what you have to say. I communicate weekly through Fidel Friday videos, which have resulted in thousands of interactions. As a result, the residents and community know far better what is happening in their town. I will always put the residents, community, and staff first as we continue to help shape the future of Fountain Hills. Thank you.
Thank you. Our first question, and candidates, Betsy will be handing out printed copies of the questions for your reference. Question number 1. The Town Council annexed 1,276 acres of state trust land into the town of Fountain Hills in 2006. Recently, there has been some interest by a national level builder in acquiring and developing this land. How important is developing this land as it relates to Fountain Hills reaching its full potential? If a developer were to move forward with acquiring the land, how would you work with them to ensure that the project is appropriate for Fountain Hills? First up, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
So there's been a lot of talk about the state trust land in the north of the town. That 1,276 acres is important for us to gain population and also attract home buyers to our town. I see it as an entry point for a couple of things. If we get the right demographic in that state trust land that can afford to buy those homes up there, they'll bring, if it's a younger demographic, they'll help feed our school district as well. And if we can get a strategic employer in this town, we have housing up there that would be available. So that national builder, I think it would behoove the town to have that all platted ahead of time so that we know exactly what we're looking to do with that state trust land. It's important because the growth is there. We've had a lot of infill and construction recently around the town, and having that land properly platted and have it ready to go, we don't have the expertise inside the town to do that, but we might have to hire somebody to do that for the town. It would make the land more valuable, and then we would have a hand in exactly how that land is platted and how it's built out. So it's important for the town going forward, and it's going to happen at some point. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Brenda Calavianakis.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad that we brought up the state trust land. This is an issue that is near and dear to my heart. I've been actually speaking with students at ASU that have this as their project, and I've seen their work, and it's amazing. I think the key to growing this town, other than the infill to our communities, is this kind of an expansion. Our businesses could use this kind of growth. Our churches could use this kind of growth. It'll get more children in our schools, and it'll be an exciting prospect to have new neighbors, new businesses, and a new place in town to expand to. I can't stress enough how important it is that we grow the Chamber of Commerce, and I've spoken to the Chamber, I've spoken to a lot of people in this town, and managed, controlled, intellectual growth is important to so many people. I believe we've been stagnant as a population for some time, and that's got to stop. We have a great thing here. We have many people that love this town, and I'd like to invite more people to be our neighbors, our friends, worship with, go to see them at the stores. So I think my experience as an attorney and as a business owner, I speak their language. Some people say that I've coddled too many developers, and I speak to developers because I speak their language, and I can make this deal happen. I can guarantee that the right person to make this thing happen would be somebody that has owned a business and is an attorney. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to question number 2. Fountain Hills has made road resurfacing a top priority and has undertaken a number of significant improvement projects in recent years. However, a substantial backlog of aging streets remains. As mayor, what is your plan to address this backlog, and what steps would you take to prevent one from accumulating again? First up, Councilmember Brenda Calavianakis.
Thank you. Yeah, I think this is probably the question that's on everybody's mind. You know, what are you going to do about the roads? As a council, when I came in 4 years ago, that was our number one priority for all the new council members. It was, I think we described it as roads first. It's extremely important to the people. Last night it was mentioned, the value of the roads, which is substantial. But I'm also here as somebody in Reelsville, okay? And I'm not going to make any promises that if we can do cost-cutting measures, if we can fire consultants or lower staff, that we can fix the roads. That's not going to happen. The truth of the matter is, it's not the mayor's roads and it's not the council's roads, it's the people's roads. And if the people want the roads fixed and the backlog fixed, it's going to take money. We discussed this at a council meeting several weeks ago, and they proposed a bond for $11 million. The $11 million bond is not going to fix the backlog. And at that council meeting, I said, if we're not going to do the backlog, and if we're not going to do the neighborhoods, that $11 million was simply for 2 of the mains, Fountain Hills Boulevard and Palisades. I don't think when we talk about improving the roads, it's just those 2 main roads. We've got to do the neighborhoods. We've got to do the streets where people live. And the only way we're going to do that is to tell the people, if you want better roads, then we're all going to have to pay for it, because cost-cutting measures alone are not going to get it done.
Thank you. Please hold your applause. Please hold your applause. Thank you. Next up, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
Thank you. I have stated many times the most valuable asset next to our employees we have in this town are our roads. We have 177 miles of roads in this town, worth about $375 million. We have done, in the last 3 years, well, including next year's budget, we'll have $7 million, $10 million, and $6 million worth of road work done in this town. We have a backlog of anywhere between $40 and $50 million. We are cutting into that backlog. I think we need to think outside the box to look at funding. A bond is one approach. And I think we came in under budget on several road projects already this past year. We were able to get a couple of extra roads done as well with that money. So we never know how those bids are going to come back, but I think thinking outside the box, I brought up an idea of selling some town-owned properties that we've been sitting on for 50 years. And somebody said, well, those are for a rainy day. Look outside, it's pouring right now. Look at those roads. We use those roads every single day. So it's important to think outside the box. We approved selling 3 to 4 lots already on one of our streets in town. I'd like to take that money, put it into road work. It's thinking outside the box and looking for solutions to get the road work done. Thank you.
Thank you. Please hold your applause. Please hold your applause. Moving on to question number 3. What do you see as the greatest untapped opportunity for Fountain Hills, and what specific actions would you take as mayor to pursue it? Why is seizing this opportunity important for our community's future, and what tangible benefits would residents experience if it were successfully realized? First, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
Well, a lot has been said about the town not being development or business friendly. We are development and business friendly. And I want to make the point that we are tapping into that. I've got a list of 14 projects here, starting with the Mayoral condos. We've got Dairy Queen coming back to town, Bundy on the Avenue. We got a new print shop in town. Ed Gerzak's got 2 projects happening up in the north side of town. We've got several others, he's got several others that we do. The Elliott Group is expanding, the Gunside Apartments, we've got the Amherst condos, we've got Sprouts, our town staff turned that site plan around in 11 days. We've got Boardwalk Apartments. So this town, just to name a few, we've got a car vault coming into town, we've got 20 homes under construction up in Eagles Nest. So for anybody to say that this town is not development or business friendly, that's what we need to continue to tap into. That rumor has got to be dispelled, and we have to let people know our economic development team has done a good job of bringing development to this town, and we have to tap into that and continue to expand those opportunities when they come available for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Brenda Calagianakis.
Thank you. Yeah, the greatest untapped opportunity in this town is development, and we talk about development a lot. The development means growing this town, and we're not growing, we're stagnant, and that bothers me. You know, we had an opportunity for Park Place 2 and 3 to get built, and Mark Shea brought a couple investors to the town council meeting that they were ready to build that thing, and somehow this council managed to blow that opportunity, and now it's in litigation, or at least it's in pre-litigation. Development means a strong local economy. It means small businesses and supporting them, supporting local shops, restaurants, and the service providers that keep money circulating in our community. It means supporting the infrastructure that is conducive to development. It means clear vision and clear planning for the future. Not a scattershot approach, but strategic planning for our future. It means, however, maintaining our community character, because we don't want development and growth to interfere with what makes us all want to come here, the beauty of Fountain Hills. Public safety, quality of life issues are also connected to development, because people will not move here unless they have a safe town and they have a good quality of life. So we have to preserve that in order to develop this town. We need a housing balance. We do need to bring in some housing, some workplace housing, so people can live and work here. And again, that develops the town, that brings more revenue in the town, that helps us build the roads. So thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to question number 4. Throughout your involvement in Fountain Hills, whether in public service or with a local organization, what accomplishment are you most proud of? What challenges did you face, and how did you lead others in overcoming those obstacles in pursuit of the goal? First up, Councilmember Brenda Calagianakis.
Thank you. Yeah, public service is something that has always been near and dear to my heart. We have a town that is so volunteer friendly. It says, you know, what obstacles in overcoming it. There are actually very few obstacles in overcoming it, because we have a community center, and we have so many churches, the Rotary, and so many clubs that do support this concept. You know, I deliver home delivered meals. I sell tickets at Fountain Hills events. I volunteer for the Coast Guard Auxiliary. I don't want to sit here and do a laundry list of all the things I volunteer for. They're numerous, including all my committee assignments that I'm responsible for. The heart of this community is service, and the only challenge to me is getting people to know how many opportunities are available. I think I've posted that before online. You know, when we need drivers for home delivered meals, when we need operators for emergency services to work with the fire department. I think the biggest challenge is just getting the word out to people that do want to volunteer, that maybe are retired and have extra time. You know, how do I find these services? How do I connect? And how do I volunteer for this town? Because we are gifted with this town with a lot of people that want to pitch in and help.
Thank you. Next, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
Thank you. So my involvement in the town started years ago when I received the Volunteer of the Year award from the Chamber of Commerce, and it's continued ever since then. As I mentioned in my opening statement, I dragged my wife, and we've had 1,000 business interactions in our town. Why is that important for a mayor? It's important for the mayor to be visible in the community, in the business community, and also with charitable events. So I'm also a member of the Elks Lodge, and we do a lot of stuff for veterans. We collect school supplies for our school district. I also volunteer at the school district as well and help support our district. I'm also a member of the Sons of the Post 58, and I'm involved in a lot of their organizational events as well. So I think it's important, and I always recognize our volunteers in this town because we couldn't do what we do as a town without our volunteers. They save the town hundreds of thousands of dollars each year by filling the gaps in service, as was mentioned, home delivered meals. And we put an awful lot of people through this community center, and we have a lot of volunteers that spend time here as well too. Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 5. Fountain Hills is largely built out, yet numerous commercial and residential parcels throughout the town remain vacant. These properties represent significant development opportunities that could enhance our community, create jobs, and generate additional tax revenue. As mayor, what is your vision for a fully developed Fountain Hills? How would you guide the town toward realizing that vision, and what role would you play in working with developers, residents, and town staff to move these projects forward? First up, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
So one of the first things I did when I got elected mayor is I formed an Economic Development Advisory Committee. And we went to work right away reviewing our policies and procedures for permitting and other things to make it friendlier for our developers in this town. And we did make some changes. We've got vacant parcels in town. I'm a big fan of mixed use on those vacant parcels because I think it's important that mixed use offers an entry point for people to live above where they work. The numbers that I know right now is that an employee that works in this town but doesn't live here, they spend about $145. We get tax revenue of about $145 a year. And it's proven if that employee lives in town in that entry level housing, if that's possible, that quadruples. It's $522 a year per employee in tax revenue to the town. So I think that that's significant. Processing permits quickly, helping developers get things done. I just read off a list of all these developments. If you were to talk to most of those developers, they would say that the town is very easy to work with. I've heard from people in this town that have projects going in Scottsdale, and it's a nightmare in Scottsdale. So we have a good staff, they're very attentive, and we've ironed out some of the wrinkles to help our developers move forward.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Brenda Calaveras.
Yes, thank you. I listened to the council debate last night and listening to the mayor tonight, and I just simply have a different take on this. I do think that the town could be more business friendly. We do have a reputation amongst a lot of the state stakeholders of Fountain Hills is not the place to go. The Arizona Business Exchange called Fountain Hills a no-go zone for businesses. If Bart Shea were in the room tonight, I'd like to get his opinions on our developmental services and whether they're helping people build buildings. When I first came on the council, there was a bar that they called Hogwash, and a new owner bought that, and they wanted to improve it. They wanted to get rid of all the late night partying and the night fights and make it a nice restaurant. They went to the town and they tried to get the permitting, and the town said we need a seismic survey study done in order for them to move a non-load bearing wall. That survey was going to cost $100,000, and it was completely unnecessary. Actually, Jerry helped me with that, and we tried to help that person. The Fountain Hills Roasters is another one. People are wondering why that's taken so long. The permit processing on that thing was dragging out forever. And so if we want more land use, if we want to get this town growing, we have to take a serious look at developmental services, at processing, permitting, and cutting regulations and red tape to make it easy for people to locate business here.
Thank you. Question number 6. Fountain Hills is known for its excellent quality of life. It is one of the safest towns in Arizona, if not the country, and has award-winning parks as well as other great amenities. As you look ahead, how do you envision the town's budget evolving? how would you balance funding the need-to-have priorities with the nice-to-have amenities and services that would further enhance our community? First up, Councilmember Brenda Calavianis.
Yes, thank you. Again, once again, a really good question because with the emphasis on the roads, which are in dire need of attention, we do also have a commitment to parks, infrastructure, and other important items that make a town livable. I've always said that you can have perfect roads in a town, but if you don't have amenities, a good infrastructure, and all the things that attracts people to live here, it's not worth anything. And so what we have to do is get an identity of trying to bring people here, trying to bring people to this town, and to the want-to-have projects. A lot of them are things that are community-oriented, the arts and the crafts and the statuary. And what we have to do is put in some want-to-haves, but with the emphasis on the need-to-haves, again, because infrastructure, roads are the things that the people keep telling us we need, but that can't be at the expense of want-to-have things either.
Thank you. Next up, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
We've all heard about need to have versus nice to have. We have major projects ahead of us with road work and where are we going to get the funding to do that? And where are we going to get funding to do the parks? It's a delicate balance. We have a very efficient town here. Let me throw some numbers at you. We spend per person in this town about $2,000 to bring our governmental services to those people each year, compared to Scottsdale, which is $9,000 a person. And Mesa and Paradise Valley, they're around $5,000 a person. Towns about our size, Apache Junction and El Mirage, they're $3,300 a person. We are a very efficient town. We can do both things at the same time. We have a staff that is outstanding in every department. We are lean, mean, and you can see that by these numbers. We don't have a primary property tax. All those towns I just told you about, they have a primary property tax. We're doing all this now without a primary property tax, and we're very efficient, and we're very good about budgeting and what we're doing. We got a great council, and we can see this balance, and we have gold star rated parks. We want to continue that. So it's, like I said, it's a delicate balance, but I think we can do both, and we have done that. So thank you.
Thank you. Question number 7. Earlier this week, the town of Fountain Hills gave notice to the River of Time Museum of its intention to proceed with the non-renewal of their current lease agreement effective December 31st, 2026. The non-renewal was based on the provisions set forth by Arizona's gift clause, which governs the use of public resources by private entities. The museum has been part of our community for 25 years, and many residents are hopeful a fair and equitable agreement that satisfies the gift clause can be reached before the end of the year. As a current member of the town council, do you see an opportunity to continue negotiation? If so, what would a successful outcome look like for both the town and the museum? First up, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
I've always believed there's an option. Get people together and get it hammered out. There's always a place for the museum. We don't want to close the museum. I think that there will be some work done, and we'll meet in the middle and we'll figure this out. We do not want to close the museum. However, 25 years is a long time to be in town. There's work that needs to be done on both sides. We need the museum to be more in the public eye. They need to do a little more fundraising and other projects that will highlight their value and monetize that so that we can meet the gift clause rules that are out there. So the gift clause has been around a long time, but it's come to light recently. Some towns have been sued because they're giving away public property or benefits. There's a way to work this out, and I'm hopeful that with the time remaining that we're able to reach an agreement and keep the museum here and meet in the middle, and the town will be happy and the museum will be happy, and we'll just continue along our way. But we have to have a plan, we have to execute to get that done. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Brenda Calvianakis.
Thank you. This goes right back into my opening statement about managing the decline of this town or the status quo. When I heard that this museum got a letter that they were going to be shut down and all those exhibits were going to be thrown in the dumpster, I was brokenhearted. I wrote a letter to the editor months ago when I heard when this was going to happen. And I implored the council, and you can go back and read the letter to the editor, that we have to come up with creative solutions to save this treasure. So many people want to save this, including State Senator John Kavanaugh and his wife Linda Kavanaugh. There are so many people that want to find a way, and we have to find a way. Now, I know our guidance has been that the gift claw is an impediment to this, but you know what? I'm a lawyer, and I know there's two sides that you can argue on every legal issue. That's why the nation is full of appeals courts and Supreme Courts, because people disagree on the law. You know, what I would suggest is we've hired lawyers for telecommunications, we've hired lawyers for other things. Maybe we get another lawyer to take a fresh set of eyes and to tell us, can you find a way to get around this gift clause to show that this facility gives so much back to the community and will justify a gift clause waiver? I know that right now, this is something that can be argued. I've looked into it. I think there's ways to go forward. But shuttering down this exhibit in this museum is going the wrong way.
Thank you. Our final question for the evening. Why are you seeking to serve or continue serving as mayor? And what leadership qualities and experience do you bring to the role? How do you believe your presence or continued service will benefit Fountain Hills and help guide its future? First up, Councilmember Brenda Calvianakis.
Thank you. I briefly in my introduction went over my resume. I didn't want to take a lot of time because most people know what my resume is, but I think mayors of towns should have a good sense of what the law is. They should have a good feeling for public service, which my Coast Guard service auxiliary demonstrates. As a business owner and attorney, I feel like my skills to be the mayor of this town would be fully utilized. The experience I bring is a lifetime worth of experience. Matter of fact, I think everything I've done to this point in my life in a very varied career has led me to serve on this council, to do it with dedication, with honor. I can't tell you the hours I spend on every single packet that this council gets to be prepared. I spend literally dozens of hours making sure I read the case law, I read the footnotes on these things. The reason I want to be the mayor is I think that this community has developed a bad reputation for being a divisive place, for being a place that people don't want to go to. I've talked to people and they said, you know, we were considering Fountain Hills, but we saw signs coming into your town and felt that we weren't welcome here. We have to get a council together that works together, functions together, respects each other, honors each other, and even if we don't get along, to the public, we should act like we get along, okay? Because that's leadership. And if we act like we get along, even if we don't, it'll inspire people to say we have a fully functioning town council, and I want to move there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Mayor Jerry Friedel.
Thank you. I think strong, stable, consistent leadership is important. I think I've demonstrated that in the past. I don't go to social media and trash people or the newspapers and trash our town. I have a finance background, which I think is really important. You can see how we budget, what we've done as far as getting road work done around this town. We've got a lot of positive projects accomplished in this town, and there's a lot more to come. People have spoken. People have told me you need to run for another term. The business community has spoken. They have told me they appreciate what we're doing in this town. They see the work. They see the sidewalks, the crosswalks, the road work, all the effort that's being put in, all the events that the town and the chamber hold. We've had record attendance in the last year and a half. So my thought is that strong, stable leadership is important going forward. We have a body of work that we're proud of, and we're going to continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the questions portion of the program. We'll move on now to candidate closing statements, and we're going to go in reverse order from where we started with the intro statements. So first up is Mary Jerry Friedel, and again, it's 2 minutes for closing statements.
Thank you. I'm not a scripted politician. In fact, quite the opposite. My time as mayor has shown residents that we produce results. From road repair, resurfacing, to improving our parks, to numerous public safety improvements. Strong, stable leadership is important. I am the same person you hired. I haven't changed my values. I haven't changed. I am who you elected. And I will continue to work tirelessly to execute the job you hired me to do. I welcome you to call, text, email, or better yet, come and see me in one of my informal settings with any additional questions you may have after we leave here tonight. I'm proud of the fact that this proven leadership is what we need. We have thrived as a community. We have accomplished so much with so many positive projects in our beautiful, vibrant, and safe town. This document I mailed out when I ran the last time. This was my 100-day pledge to the residents of this town. You know why I did that? There's one word that sums this up. I checked every box off on this card. That one word is accountability. I think you need to be accountable for your decisions and what you do and what you say in this town. And this proves that I did that. So I want to thank everybody for their time here tonight, and thanks for coming out and listening to us talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Councilmember Brenda Calagianakis.
Thank you. Yeah, just so I don't forget Betsy, Jeff, and the timekeeper and scorekeeper, so to speak. Thank you for your work tonight. Tonight, you have heard two different perspectives about this town and the future of this town. What this race comes down to is one simple question: who's got the resume and the temperament to go forward and lead this town? Just as importantly, what kind of mayor do you want? One focused on partisan politics and battles from Washington, or one that's focused on getting results right here at home? I choose results, and I believe most of the people that live in this town do too. I've built my career on accountability. As a prosecutor, I enforced the law. As a business owner, I delivered results. As your council member, I've insisted that the decisions made are careful, open, and have respect for the people who live here. Politics will always exist, unfortunately, but we don't need more of that in Fountain Hills. We need leadership that listens to the people and then acts. That means supporting our police, our firefighters, our business owners, our realtors, the people who keep this community both safe and prosperous. It means investing in infrastructure and town services that improve everyday life. It means approaching growth the right way, thoughtfully, strategically, and always with an eye on preserving what makes this town special. This is a serious responsibility, and it deserves serious leadership. I'm ready to serve as your mayor on day one and bring steady leadership, clear decisions, and government you can trust. I'm running so that there'll be less drama in town hall. Simply put, I'm running to make government boring again. If what I say makes sense to you, please vote for Brenda Kay for mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our candidate forum for our mayoral candidates. I want to thank both candidates for participating tonight. Let's give both of them one last round of applause. Thank you so much. And I will now welcome Betsy LaVoy back up to the podium to deliver closing remarks on behalf of the Fountain Hills Chamber and the FHCCA. Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude our 2026 mayoral forum, I sincerely want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you you for taking maybe 2 nights of your week this week to get involved and engaged in our future of our government. Most especially to 2 of our candidates for all the energy, passion, and vision you have for our town. Thank you for all of your time and your commitment to our town. We truly appreciate you. Before we close, I'm pleased to announce that the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors will soon be presenting a legislative report. This comprehensive report is based on interviews with the board directors and the candidates. It is not based on the forum. This report will be published online and will review key issues within the scope of our chamber's work with valuable insights and information for our community. This report will be issued at the State of the Chamber breakfast. Everyone is invited and welcome to our breakfast. If you're not able to join us, it will be online for your viewing. Thank you again for being here tonight and for your ongoing support of the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce, the FHCCA, Toastmasters, and the Town of Fountain Hills. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.